Alright boys, how's it going? We've got a little bit of Inquisitor action going on here. Going to be facing off against the Hive Tyrant of Astartes. Bit of a crazy matchup this one. You would think that it would be favoured for the Inquisitor with all of her supporting, controlling kind of abilities. But you'd be surprised. It's possible to brute force your way through as the Hive Tyrant. Very advantageous for him that he starts off as a synapse provider, so his termagants aren't as vulnerable to the ranged pew-pew that IG gets, particularly that of the Sentinel. The Guardsmen aren't too threatening to deal with, but the Sentinel, honestly, is a bit of a nightmare. Innie, you've got to fix this map, man. It's driving me mad. It's got this shit up here again. Just because I'm not in the, I'm just like this, then it's fine, but you zoom out. That's the natural in-game zoom. And then you get that annoying thing on the edges. It's very frustrating. In fact, go on, I'll delete it then. But wow, I feel like I'm playing Dawn of War 1 Soulstorm. I'm so zoomed in right now. Holy shit. Feels well weird. Anyway. So we've got the pretty traditional triple termagants coming out of the Hive Tyrant. That's quite conventional against the IG. The Tyranny is going to have a lot more speed, and they've got a lot more capping power right now. So it really comes down to how well Period can utilise both his Inquisitor and the Sentinel. So this is good. I was going to say probably wants to actually go in for a nice stomp there, but he manages to retreat both of those termagants without going for the stomp. I mean, it makes sense, they're just going to bleed. They're not going to achieve anything particularly effective when the Inquisitor's already in range. Hammer of the Witch is not being used yet, can use that to slap down an extra 100 DPS onto the HT there. Stun it for the bits. And I got the stomp ready for him as well, so Homigont's going down the side there, taking back the natural. Hive Tyrant delaying, the triple termagants are pushing up the mid again. I wouldn't have bothered. I'd probably have just took them away. Not sure why he's disengaging here. This would have been a fine fight to take had he got cover on his Guardsman. You see, now he's doing... Oh god, I'm zooming out again. Fuck. It's an instinct. It feels wrong to be this zoomed in. Well, he's got the Inquisitor still, so he's alright. This is where having Toxin Sacks as a priority would be good. One Toxin Sacks would have prevented the need to lose a lot of models here as the Inquisitor's falling back. I love this play here with the cover though. Super impactful. And so they rout them. Termagant's not particularly effective prior to getting their Toxin Sacks.
Generator coming up.
And then you want your Hive Tyrant to go in and just run over those blocks of towers. Blocks of towers? What? Where did I get that from? Concrete blocks. And also, he's fighting without any synapse. You know, that whole fight with the triple termagants, he fought it without the boost of the synapse. They've gone super differently. Damn it. I can't stop doing that! It's just an instinct! I literally reset it and my brain just made me do it again. Holy crap. It's driving me mad. Now this is unusual to see Raveners here instead of the Warrior Brood. You really don't see that. It's typically a Warrior Brood with a Barbed Strangler, because that will shut down Cadishans really hard and it will counter all the cover, including that deployable cover. So Raveners is interesting. Raveners obviously a little bit faster than the Warrior Brood. Their speed 6.5 versus the 5 in the Warriors. Of course they got the jump, which is good. It's okay in general, like you can disrupt repairs and things like that, but they're a lot squishier because they're only light infantry versus the heavy infantry of the Warriors. And once again, I want to point out that Astartes is fighting here without his synapse. He needs the Hive Tyrant here. Not only do you get the 20% damage resistance on all this, but then you can stack that with your improved synapse armor as well. But hey, he's got 4 ranged units, so he focus fires the Sentinel. I'm afraid one Guardsman isn't going to help out repair that, even 2 wouldn't. period. Clearly wasn't expecting that. Could have used the smoke shell and the Cadishans to give a bit of damage resistance. That might have helped. But yeah, he gets the kill there, does Astartes, and he retreats out, which I do like that play. That's a good play. So it's really, really nice for period that Guardsmen here are negating the enemy Hive Tyrant. The Hive Tyrant can 1v1 Guardsmen normally. Obviously, there's a garrison, that's the problem. But not only is he a stronger asset in terms of combat, but he's also the Synapse creature, so you're making sure the Synapse creature isn't actually effective in the main fights. Could have been an IED shot here onto these Hormagaunts, probably would have killed half of them. So again, a bit of a mistake from period. Very strange to go for the spotters. I guess he doesn't really know what else to get. Could just get another Guardsman.
Sir, we're losing a victory point out there.
I'm all flamed up, boys. Okay, so... Alright, he's going to drop a last turret, but... Astartes is flanking it just by default. So that's a bit questionable.
Sir, structures up.
I just got like my daylight blue light filter turning on as well because it's 7 AM. Oh, this is madness. This is a chaotic cast. Is that a crossbow into a Hell Fury? No, it's a smoke shell from spotters. I don't really think that's really worth it to go for the crossbow, bolt pistol, Rosarius. Maybe. I don't know about the spotters though.
Generator coming up.
I guess Tyranids blob a lot. You can pin him in place with the crippling volley. That could be okay. I'm not sure. I feel like my micro's been too far away for all of this cast. Jesus Christ, this is an actual disaster.
So the generator is online.
I'm gonna blame the map. Wow, some good range on that turret, and that's without the upgrade, which gives it 50% more range in tier 2. Not looking like the best spot for the Cadders here. They're alright. Nice mortar actually. Disrupt both of them too, and then the remaining one that wasn't disrupted you can deal with the shotgun blast. You only lost one Cadishan, that's worth it for sure. I do have the triple toxin sacks. I've got to say it again, I hate how Astartes is using his Hive Tyrant here. I don't really get it. Why is he running around a basic Hormagaunt that's never fighting to cap on this side when he could have the Hive Tyrant doing that and the Hormagaunt should be isolated on the other side? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. 20% DR is equivalent to a 25% extra HP. Imagine a 25% extra HP boost to all those Termagants and Raveners. And never mind if you decided to get the improved Synapse on top of that. That was another beautiful mortar. Maybe the spotters are worth it. Maybe the incendiary shells will prove valuable in tier 2. I mean, they'll synergize beautifully with the crippling volley, that's for sure. Hormagaunts now, though, without the Sentinel around, are going to town. Anywhere that the Cadishans aren't, the Hormagaunts can create some serious problems. Cadishans here were loitering over this side.
Got something for us to kill, sir.
Sir, reporting tech upgrade complete.
Another thing I'm noticing here from Period is he's not using any IEDs. But Astartes, because he didn't go for a warrior, actually has no detection right now. You know, he could have planted an IED right here, expecting the Hormers to come over from here or here to cap that point. Maybe could even get a squad wipe. And then the Termers, the way they blob. Could you imagine if you bait them into an IED right now? Like it'd blow up the whole fucking army. He's not been doing that. But anyway, he's getting a Bane Wolf. Let's see how this can do. So it's really advantageous that you get this from the call-in from the Inquisitor, because it means there's no build time. You just bang, get it right in your base. Can you believe that it used to be the case that you chose where to place it on the battlefield? You literally could just drop it down right on the enemy gen farm. I mean, yeah, that was pretty broken, I've got to admit. But it's chugging along. It's going to head to the gen farm, one has to assume. Astartes is already tier 2 and already has his Venom Brood. He's going to be getting the ranged synapse on them straight away. Makes sense. He's got 4 ranged units to buff. You might also see a Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant. There we go. Venom shots coming out there. Pew pew, pew pew. Bane Wolf deterred and isn't going to get a bash. But the Bane Wolf is good anyway in this matchup without the bash. The chemical cannon on it on the front actually does pretty good damage to heavy infantry, so it's surprisingly nice against Venom Brood. But it still does absolutely fine against the Gaunts because it's AoE damage. And then the Chem Bomb ability does a load of damage too in an AoE. It's trying to melee it to death here, but it's getting Guardsman repairs, which is not going to go well, I don't think, for the mids. Yeah, they just got to retreat out of there. This is what I mean, he needs another piece of AV. You can't... It's very hard ever to take down a vehicle with one piece of AV, because you just focus fire the AV and then repair the vehicle. The AV unit's going to get forced off before the vehicle can be killed. Or, of course, if it's ranged AV like a Venom Brood, you just tie it up with something like the Inquisitor. So, what I would suggest is just get the Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant, but even the Crushing Claws you could get too. Seems like he took a lot of bleed in that engagement. I'm not sure if he got Endless Swarm as well, and this is why his economy is doing so poor. Perhaps not, because he seems to have a lot of power. So I'd say this bows relatively well here for period in terms of composition, and also the fact that he's massively ahead right now in VPs too. Plasma guns coming out on the Guardsmen now, that's going to make them way better at killing Venom Brood. Yeah, you're definitely going to need another source of AV, and he's getting it. He's got the Venom Cannon now on the Hive Tyrant as well. So you'll have to pick your target. And really, this is just better AV than the Venom Brood, because he doesn't bleed, and he's got more HP than a Venom Brood squad. He's just a pain in general. Now we've got another call down, the call-in Stormtroopers for the Inquisitor. She's very good with her call-ins. Helps her build up her forces in tier 2 very fast. And honestly, not even that far off from getting a... Oh, fucking hell, he lost the Kadashan somewhere. Dude, how do I miss this every single cast? Was that just here? Guess he was looking at the Stormtroopers that just got called in. Kadashan's just melted to range fire, I guess. Bit strange. I was going to say Period's army looking great then, but no, not really. And you can see that the range block right now with the Tyranids is absolutely shitting on the Guardsmen. Now he's got the improved Synapse, so all these guys way stronger now. They've got the bonus health and damage from the ranged Synapse, and then they get an additional 25% health from the Hive Tyrant. So you can see a level 1 Termagant here with both of those buffs is above 1000 HP, which is very tanky for a level 1 Termagant. Yeah, 1080 HP on a level 1 Termagant. It's a very nice buff. Alright, we've got double Stormtroopers coming out. There was a nice smoke shell there from the spotters, preventing these guys from finishing off the Bane Wolf, but then he drives forward! Oh man, a massive miss micro from Period. Massive miss micro. Look, the Bane Wolf would still have been good. I don't think I even seen him use the Chem Bomb ability. That ability is amazing. Not only is it a big AoE slow, but it does damage over time, and it's significant. If you use the Crippling Volley into the Chem Bomb and then hit him with a Hell Fury, oh man, you're going to be wiping squads left, right and centre. It does full damage in base and on retreat as well. So... well, not in base. On retreat. I was thinking about talking about whether you should use it in base, and you should as well. Look, it's really good. You can use the Incendiary Shell, the Chem Bomb, and then drop a Hell Fury, and even with a 50% damage resistance from being in your base, it's still going to wipe squads, especially things like Termagants with the 8 models. It's a lot of AoE damage over time, trust me. Okay, he's not making the same mistake again, period. He's going to retreat straight away when he sees this blob. It is a lot of DPS with the Raveners. What's the Ravener HP? Okay, they're at 1,125 right now, but it's going to go up because they're not next to the HT. Holy shit, look at that, guys. 1,350 HP on level 1 Raveners. Beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. Yeah, there you go. There was the crippling volley into the Hell Fury strike, and Venom Cannon. Oh, it doesn't tell me how much he does in melee. He does a little bit in melee. Like, he will bleed models. He's not negligible. I think it's like 25 DPS or something. So good job there with Astartes, throwing him into melee just with Stormtroopers, but also good play there. Hammer of the Witch in him, stunning him. Wow, the Guardsman managed to actually get the decap here in the wreck. That's surprising. I don't know why the Hormagaunts aren't taking the point. He's doing this again. So aggressive with the Hormers. What, they're going straight for the VP with a 6.5 speed? I guess they are, but... Sati's really struggling in the VP game for some reason. Kind of surprising. I feel like he's had more units for most of the match. That was a bit of a weird Ravener jump. Jumps them forward so they get focus fired by everything. Doesn't even get much knockback, and then they're out of range to them, so they got less HP. That was a crazy mortar shell. Holy shit. Guardsman should be focus firing the Venom Brood. We can pop some Synapse creatures and get backlash. That would be beautiful. This Brood Nest is too far forward. You just focus fire that with the Stormtroopers. But some slow reactions there from Period. It's alright, it's focus firing the Venoms now. Triple Synaptic backlash. Well, there you go. I don't know why the Venom Brood was so far forward. There's no vehicles to kill. You can have him back here, buff everything. He should not be in range to be getting focus fired like that. And yeah, Astartes brute forces his way through it with the reinforce off the Brood Nest, but it's pretty rough. Bled a lot. It's going to be delaying his tier 3 purchase for sure. He needs to take out the Brood Nest. What's he doing? Okay, Hell Fury. They just tank it. Run over to the Brood Nest. The Brood Nest has AoE regen as well, which you can see when there's 8 models. That's actually quite significant. I don't know why he's not shooting the Brood Nest. Is he intentionally like farming them for XP? See, he doesn't have Commissars on the Guardsman, so he is bleeding a fair bit himself. Gonna go for Kassakin. I guess he's struggling for power, isn't he? Yeah. Hive Tyrant, of course, would like to get a melee weapon right now, so he's useful against the infantry. Swap out to the Venom later if a Lehman Rust presents itself, but Astartes really struggling with his resources, I'm sure. Rather than getting those Rending Talons as a cheap melee weapon, he's just saving up everything for the calm effects right now.
Sir, the advantage is ours.
I feel like that could have been a good burrow, as they all blob up on this sort of corner. You burrow right behind them, knock them all flying. Yeah, he goes for it in the end anyway, and they don't want it. They don't want the disruption. Again, now these Tyrannid ranged units are in the improved Synapse. So the other thing, remember, so not only are the Termagants over 1000 HP each at level 1, but they've got 20% damage resistance passively as well against all attacks. They become so insanely cost effective with both those buffs. It's beautiful.
We're losing a requisition point. Reporting enemy contact.
But talking about counters, Katie and Kassakin, ooh, with the grenade launchers as well, that is a really hard counter to a triple Termagant blob. They're a pretty good counter anyway because they're outputting really high piercing DPS with their hotshot lasguns, and unlike Stormtroopers or Guardsmen, they're heavy infantry, so the piercing damage of the Termagants is a lot less effective. But now with the grenade launchers, they've got splash damage, and the grenade launchers for the Kassakin are unique in that they do knock back on hit. So basically a hard counter to high model ranged blobs, that's for sure. Because you're not only outputting a lot of DPS because you're hitting them with splash damage weapons, but you're also knocking them over, so you take less damage yourself. I don't know what the plan is here for the Stormtroopers. Probably want to go for a Gem Bash, I guess? Seems a bit weird. It's like, it feels like it's late They're going to open up fire on the Hive Tyrant right now, but it's not like the Hive Tyrant is really a threat at the moment, so not sure. Gazman here, it looks like Period hasn't realised they've been tied up in melee by the Raveners. And he retreated at the last minute there. I was going to say potential here for a retreat grenade. Holy shit, they're killing them anyway. No retreat grenade needed. Of course, there was no potential for a retreat grenade because they spent too long infiltrating, but they clean them up anyway. Hell Fury is so strong in this matchup, man. The other thing with Hell Fury that you've got to remember is it does full damage on retreat, and obviously once a unit's retreating, they can't dodge it. So that's how you've got to exploit that ability. Weaken them with other forms of AoE, like Old Reliable from the Cadishans, and then you can wipe them in retreat with the Hell Fury. And it's also why, like I said earlier, again, the Chem Bomb on the Bane Wolf is actually a really good offensive weapon. Anyway, the Carnifex is going to be taking over here. What's that? Bath Strangler? Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's fine. It's going to shut down all the ranged units, that's for sure. I don't know why the Raveners aren't retreating, though. Oh my god, Astartes completely forgotten about him. You see, he's, I guess, checking out the VP where he's got the Hive Tyrant and the Hormigón. Damn, he needs the units. He lost the Venom Brood as well at some point. When did he lose the Venom Brood? Oh yeah, he lost the Venom Brood over in this fight. Really unnecessarily too. And now that's problematic because there is a Leman Russ coming out. And yeah, Bath Strangler Carnifex right now counters all the infantry that the IG is fielding, but it's going to be very limited against a Leman Russ. The anti-vehicle DPS of a Strangleform cannon, it's not a Bath Strangler, it's a Strangleform cannon. It's basically just a massive Bath Strangler. It's not very good DPS against vehicles. It does hurt them. It's like a plasma cannon hitting them. But if they keep moving, it is possible to dodge it as long as they're at long range and they're moving. And even if they don't move, the DPS isn't great. He's also going to be really outranged by a Vanquisher Leman Russ, and he's going to be really out DPS'd by an Executioner Leman Russ. Now the good thing for him is he is only facing one Guardsman, so the repair support for the Leman Russ isn't going to be great. But I don't know, this is tricky. Those double Stormtroopers can keep roaming around, and together they'll have enough firepower to easily dispatch the Hormigons of the Hive Tyrant if they encounter them isolated. So it's going to be really tricky to get rid of them. And then the Kassakin are sort of running around too. They probably want to drop the grenade launchers. They're like heroes that they can swap their weapon kits around, and they can actually swap for free. So they should probably swap out from grenade launchers. They don't need that anymore. They should get melters to put pressure onto the Carnifex, or just go back to lasguns. Now there is going to be a Warrior Brood coming out. I don't know what the plan is with that. They're just naked right now. Seems a bit strange. But yeah, the Bath Strangler Carnifex really hard countered here by the Leman. And default level 1 warrior is going to get melted by the Stormtroopers. Yeah, he's going to GG. Astartes kind of shot himself in the foot here, going for the Bath Strangler a bit prematurely. I don't think he needed that. I mean, maybe he did. Like, dealing with this here, just ignore the Leman and pretend he didn't have the Carnifex. He'd be screwed anyway, right? Especially because he's so low on VPs, but he was doomed once he lost the Venom Brood over in the fight by the Brood Nest here, and then he pinned himself into having to get the Strangleform cannon to counter the infantry, and then of course it's easy for Period to just get the Leman Russ, which has got the Vanquisher, so it's super long range. This Carnifex has got no chance. It shouldn't ever be in a position where it is even in range of the Leman Russ, and the Leman Russ just keeps driving back and pew-pewing it. I mean, you've got good AV with the Hive Tyrant, maybe with the Venom Brood as well. There would have been some potential. I don't know. He just... Basically, Astartes just lost too many units. If he still had his Raveners and the Venom Brood, he might be in for a shot of winning. He could use Without Number to get some more Hormigons and Termagants on the field, and then they could start contesting the sides. One other thing I will say here with this matchup is, as much as we don't like to go melee against IG, typically in Tier 1, because of the presence of the Kadishan Devils and the Sentinel, both of which are very good anti-melee, he killed both of them by Tier 2. At that point, you may want to consider going for melee. Now, don't get me wrong, he's fighting an Inquisitor who has the Assail ability to point and click and stun a squad in place and do damage over time, and he's got Crippling Volley, which is a pain in the ass. But certainly, if you're in this situation, you're fighting a Lord General in particular, very vulnerable to melee. Lord Commissar somewhere in between. Inquisitor is the best against melee. But even then, if you've killed the Caduceans and the Sentinel, don't think that melee is off the table. Actually, in tier 2, melee can be very strong against IG, so that is another option that Astartes could have gone down. I wouldn't recommend getting a Tyrant Guard, it's too slow, but Adrenal Gland Warriors and Gene Stealers, when you've killed the Caducean Devils and the Sentinel, might be difficult to deal with, especially if you can play the macro and know that wherever your Adrenal Gland Warriors and Gene Stealers are expected to go, that's likely where the Inquisitor's going to go, and then you kill her real quick with triple Termagants and Raveners, and then your Warriors and Hormagaunts can take on 3 or 4 squads on the other side with the Gene Stealers, because there's no anti-melee. Anyway, just some food for thought. I thought it's really cool to see an IG versus Hive Tyrant. We don't get enough of that. Hope you guys did enjoy, but for me, I'm going to be out.